Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of our Starfinder Drift Crisis live play. My name is Alex Speidel, my pronouns are he, him, and I am your GM as we rapidly approach the end of our adventure aboard the Void Empress as we encounter the very beginning of the Drift Crisis. With me today, as always, are my 4 friends and players who are taking their characters through the chaos, madness, mayhem, and confusion that I have planned for them. Hello, friends. How are we all today?
I'm good. Just trying to survive.
Fantastic. As always, I will go ahead and let them introduce themselves to you, as well as their characters. We'll go ahead and start with Michelle. Hello. Tell the people of you.
Hello, I'm Michelle Bradley, and my pronouns are she, her, and so are my character's pronouns, also she, her. My character is named Camembert, and she's a little Skinnermander, size small, 6 arms, 1 glass, clipboard for some reason, weird hat, and she's a precog that is also the entertainment director aboard this vessel. And actually, she's currently very sticky still. Yeah.
She's probably a little sticky still, that's true. You've had 10 minutes though. Anyway, London.
Hi, my name is London Carlisle. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Tam Kalenz. He is the halfling biohacker in this wonderful party right here. Welcome to our table. Also, you can find me on the internets at London Carlisle.
Fantastic, thank you. Next up, Chelsea. Hello.
Hi. Yes, I'm ChelseaBytes. My pronouns are she, her, as well as my character, Hopper, who is a Lashunta mystic. And truly just trying to make sure everyone's comfortable as we figure out what our corporate overlords are up to.
Good luck with that. And last but certainly not least, Jim, hello.
That's right, I'm Jim, he, him. I'm playing Gary, the SRO soldier and security officer aboard this derelict vessel. Just trying to keep it together.
Make sure that not too much of Opulos entertainment property is damaged, of course. When last
new primary purpose.
That's true. You have a new primary. That's very true. When last we left off, our adventurers defeated some noble feathered sky sails that were attacking the new pets that they had found, the new friends they had made, and decided to scare them off. After being grabbed a little bit and one of them dragged up into the air a bit, they managed to accomplish that successfully. And as they moved through the ship, they discovered a strange hallway full of a number of bubbles of energy that appeared to be containing extraplanar forces that had somehow ended up on the ship, maintained by a mysterious spectra. They entered one of these bubbles, which was holding a piece of Elysium, the chaotic good plane, and encountered Miriam and Azada, who was very lonely and alone, but maybe she has some friends now. And as they rested, we left off. So now we will go ahead and see what awaits for them as they proceed through the ship and try to deal with the corporate machinations of Vioni Opulos. All right, and we are back. So our 4 brave adventurers here in this tiny little preserved bubble of Elysium. You've had a moment to, sort of rest, catch your breath, heal up some stamina if you needed to. In sort of chatting with, Miriam, the Azada here, you learned that she had been pulled here from Elysium through forces that she did not fully understand, and she has offered that should you, need healing in the future, she is happy to help you, although she's a little sad that she can't leave the bubble herself, but she appears to be amenable to you. You've made friends with her at this stage. So it is up to you. What would you like to do? Would you like to stay here further or continue to press on?
I'd just say we try to figure out if we can help her help them along the way. And yeah, but we'll reassure them and we'll move on.
Yeah, I think with the mysticism checks that you made earlier, the bubble is sort of keeping her contained so that like the creature outside can hopefully send her back at some point. Shutting down that energy field would probably be fairly difficult, and depending on what's in the other bubbles, might actually cause more problems than it solves. But it's certainly up to you if you wish to pursue that line of activity.
Great.
Thank you for letting us have a little break here, Miriam. Don't worry, we will come back for you, and hopefully we can get you back home. But we are going to have to continue on to figure out what this mystery is.
Oh, yes, that's quite all right. Just be careful, and if you need assistance, come and see me. I'll be here.
Will do. And I would like to say that on this rest, like probably for the last 10 minutes or so, I've already attuned everyone to my micro lab, just in case we need any sort of, boosts for the future.
Yep.
I thank Miriam, and I'll start leading out of this bubble.
They will sort of, wave farewell to you. As you're sort of in this bubble, you can see that on the other side of, where you came from, there are two smaller bubbles. One is sort of this reddish energy, and one is this kind of swirling purplish energy. It is up to you, I suppose, which way you choose. They are blocking your path, so you're going to have to go through one of them. But I leave it up to you to choose your fate.
Hey, everybody, I've got a really cool idea. And I want to do this thing where I stand right here. Well, I can't. I was going to try to stand in the middle of both of them.
So you try to do so, and as you do, you sort of walk into the red bubble there.
Yeah.
Which is very funny. As you enter that bubble, you are hit with just this wave of heat. This bubble is hot in contrast to the previous one, which was exactly the perfect temperature. This one is just 90, 100, 110, 120 degrees Fahrenheit, because that's how we measure things in America. The ground is sort of scorched in places and actively on fire in other places. It is not a particularly pleasant environment, and it is only made less pleasant by the creature, the armored large creature on the other side of the bubble, this large orange-skinned creature with this black carapace and armor standing on spindly insectile legs. It hasn't quite noticed you yet. What would you like to do?
I guess Tams are behind me. I go, this looks kind of scary. I think we should just keep going. If it doesn't notice us yet, let's go.
Yep. Run! and Cam is going to try to,
I just yeet.
Yeah, Cam and Tam are gone at this point.
All right. Make a stealth check for me as you attempt to slip through this bubble without being noticed.
Okay. 22.
24.
So the good news is that Tam appears to be unnoticed. Cam, however, is not quite stealthy enough.
Oh, I'll have to go back.
And you do just to there is fine. And the creature appears to take notice of you, and as it does, it roars in joy, and it says, "Aha! Worthy successors to battle! Fight me for the glory of the Father Devil!" I would like you to roll initiative, please. So unfortunately my guys cannot roll for spit. So Gary, you would have probably heard some of this noise and seen Camembert and Tam sort of dash through the bubble. What would you like to do with your turn?
Well, I guess seeing that there's commotion in the bubble, the first I'll take an action to just sort of take a guarded step into the bubble so I can actually see what's happening, and then seeing a massive metal-clad firebug, I see that security services are needed. So I'll take another step, or actually I'll just a full move to get between this creature and my companions and say, nothing. I'm not going to say anything yet. I think Gary feels a little bit weirded out by everything that's been going on, and so instead of just rushing up and attacking, is more just looking back at Cam and Tam, like, are we doing this? Is this one? Did we punch this one? Or are we talking? Or there's just sort of like not leaping into the fray kind of deal.
Understood. Sort of taking their lead on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good. Tim, you are up. What would you like to do?
Tam is just shaking his head. Nope. He didn't really want to fight. But that doesn't mean that this thing doesn't want to fight. So he's going to knock back one of his serums. He has this Cicatite Tonic, which is a pale red liquid, which will give me cold and fire resistance 3, just in case stuff goes down.
Good idea. So it would be a move action to pull that out and then a standard to drink it if you would like to do so.
That's it.
Okay, very good. Camembert, you are up.
I double move to get out of the bubble. Go for it.
Okay.
And I think, I don't know, whatever. I guess I moved there. This is what's happening.
Okay.
No.
So you step into the
I'm in
next
yellow
bubble, which is this bubble of sort of yellowish energy. And as you do, you suddenly find yourself looking at the ceiling of this room. Like, you just, as soon as you step in, just, like, your orientation changes, and now you're looking straight up at the ceiling.
Oh. It feels like, I guess for my action, I just look around. Perception?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay.
23. So you see a couple of things. So in the center of this bubble, you don't see any creatures, but in the center of this bubble, there's this object a little bigger than like a tall fire extinguisher. Is the best way I can describe it. That looks like some kind of clockwork object. The gears are spinning on it. There's like tuning forks or something on it that are kind of spinning and doing something. So you see that. The second thing that you see is that you notice that in addition to looking at the ceiling, like, your angle of view has changed. It's like you're lying flat on the floor. You're like a lot lower than you were a moment ago. You're sort of looking up at Tam. You're looking up at this object. It's very odd.
Okay. That's my whole thing, I guess. That's it.
Yep. Okay.
I'm scared.
Time for my guy's turn, which none of you have identified, so you don't know what it is. I will, he will shout, a worthy opponent has approached me! Prepare for battle! And he will, attack with his trident. Attack poor Gary there. Does a 30 hit you?
Sure.
No.
Awesome.
No.
You take, oh boy,
Oh god.
25 points of piercing damage.
That's an impressive amount of piercing damage that he dealt there. Good job.
And then I'm good standing there. Actually, I don't need to move or anything, so I'm just gonna stand there and let you take that damage. Hopper, you're up.
So, Hopper loves the color purple. So immediately she walks in, just takes a dip inside, whatever this may be. She's sure the others will come out on the other side just fine, you know?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
What happens when I walk through?
So, this bubble, it feels and looks the same as the hallway outside. Like, the environment doesn't change at all. And that's odd so far, because so far these seem to be kind of pieces of different planes and stuff. But this one doesn't appear to be. What you do see is on the other side, there's this large kind of furry creature. It currently has its back to you, so you can't really see what it is. That's just sort of sitting there, like I say, with its back to you. What do you do?
I observe it for, what is it doing?
Right now, just sitting.
I'm not going to disturb it. I can't promise anything. I'll scoot closer to the edge, and I'll try to, let me see if I have something that, I'll go ahead and detect dots. Why not? Oh, I don't think I can anymore.
That's a once per day, and I think you did that on Miriam already.
Well, then...
You can't emotion sense. You do have emotion sense.
I'm doing that.
I'm gonna have you make a sense motive check for me. This thing does have emotions, so you can detect that it's there.
23.
This thing, it's tough to tell from the back. It's got a furry back, but you see now that there are areas where there are like patches of scales and where there are like some spikes running up the spine.
Mm-hmm.
The main emotion you detect is confusion, I think.
I say, oh, it doesn't know where it is. And I'll speak to it. I'll say, hello, little creature. It's not little, is it?
It's not. It's size large.
Oh, hello, large creature. What does it do?
So if you say that, it sort of like it perks up, and you can see that it has acknowledged the sound of you talking to it. Its head sort of turns around and peers at you, and you see this kind of like reptilian, scaly, snaky head, and that's odd.
Ah.
And then you see its second head turn around, and it's sort of like if a Skittermander was really angry, that's what you would be looking at right now, as that head looks at you. And then its third head turns around, and you thought a Skittermander was angry before, but this is like what if a Skittermander was a predator, and that one looks extremely upset to see you. It has acknowledged your presence.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Top of round 2, Gary, you're up.
Gary is going to move away. Turning to this giant creature and said, apologies, I do not have time to fight right now. I may be back later and we can resolve this at another time. And I will just straight up move. Actually, no, I don't want to go there. I'll just take a guarded step back because it looks like Tam's still in this bubble. So I want to be the last one out of it. So what I'll do is I'll actually take a guarded step back and then ready an action. When Tam leaves and is no longer in the bubble, I will take another move to get out as well.
Okay, sure.
That's my turn.
All right, Tam, you are up.
I think we're good for now. I'm gonna just start moving out and sort of past Cam to about right there, if I can, into the other bubble.
As you do so, you encounter a similar sensation as Cam, where you immediately feel like you walk into the bubble and are suddenly lying on the ground looking at the ceiling. And you don't see Cam.
Oh. Uh-oh. I'm all turned around, too. I'm gonna do my best just to, if I'm able to move towards, away from wherever I just came from, I'm just gonna keep doing that. I'm trying to focus on just getting through these places.
Okay, understood. Make a perception check as you do so.
25.
25. So as you sort of move through this bubble and you move away from the square where you as a player know where Cam is, even though, Tam doesn't know that, you sort of turn back and you see Cam. Camembert is this two-dimensional picture on the ground, moving, waving at you. It's Cam, but Cam is now two-dimensional, and you gather that you probably are too right now.
He just goes, "Oh, I love Saturday morning cartoons," as he, with a little more pep in his step, is moving now from noticing that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so he's enjoying the movement now. He's almost as if he forgot about the big fire creature. Yeah, he's excited to be a cartoon.
Very good, yes. So it's one movement to get to the other side of the bubble. You've still got another standard action you can use if you like.
Yeah, so I can get out of there, right? I can just, double that up and get out?
As far as you know.
Before I enter in anywhere else, but yeah.
Okay, as you leave the bubble, I need you to make a fortitude save for me, please.
Nat 20 for 27.
Ooh.
As you leave the bubble, you will pop back up into 3D Tam.
Dang it, he says. He's gonna wait here outside of any bubbles until he sees more people.
Yep, sounds good. All right. Camembert, you are up. You now know that you are two-dimensional.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take my full 30 feet and try to leave, to go here. So, do I also have to fortitude save?
Yes, please, as you leave.
Okay, it's gonna be fine. Is 13 too low? Because I can fix it.
13 will be a failure.
But what if something fun happens to me and not bad?
It's usually why you have to make fortitude saves.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually accept this bad roll because I don't have too many precog slots left. And I gotta save them
Sure.
for this episode.
Sure. So you are able to leave the bubble. However, Tam, you see two-dimensional Cam come out of the bubble and remain two-dimensional on the ground.
Oh my god.
Cam!
Incredible.
He says. That's all he says.
Do I sound like smaller because I'm flat?
Only if you want to.
Incredible. I am just gonna since I have an action, I'm gonna quickly just cast a telepathic message to try to talk to whatever is in this bubble.
Well, A of all, yes, you can't see them. But B of all, while you are two-dimensional, all you can do is move and...
Oh my god, I love it. Okay, I can't do anything. It's great. So easy. So easy to play this game. And I just say,
Oh, hey Tam, should I go inside? I can keep going if you want me to. Go inside the bubble.
That's up to you if you want to, but I'm sorry, I've never talked to a cartoon before. This is pretty cool, but also kind of scary.
Okay,
Use your
we'll
best judgment.
just wait here then.
All right.
I think we should just wait here then, because I can't do anything.
Can you keep talking?
all right. No, we have to move on. Tam.
Alright, so that is your turn. It is now the weird creature's turn that you don't know what it is.
Oh.
And it is going to just kind of let loose this wave of chaotic energy. Hopper, I need you to make a fortitude save, please.
Yep. Lovely old 9.
I need you to roll a d12 for me, please.
Oh,
4.
see how that goes.
Okay. So, as this wave of chaotic energy hits you, you feel yourself beginning to transform into something smaller and furrier, and maybe with 6-ish arms or so, as you are targeted by a baleful polymorph, and you become whatever a Skittermander version of Hopper looks like a little bit, which is
wonderful.
odd. So you are small, and you take a -2 penalty to pretty much everything you're doing at the moment.
Great. I actually find this to be an improvement. This is wonderful for me.
All right. And I had just remembered that Gary ready to move for when Tam left the bubble so that you would be the last one to leave. So if you would like to take that now that Tam has left the bubble, you may do so, Gary.
Sure, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I forgot about it too, so I will go ahead and take my movement now. So obviously I wanted to move out of the bubble, and then Gary doesn't see any of their companions around. Assumes surely they wouldn't just walk into the nearest bubble, and tries to make their way northeast, but then comes up against another bubble anyway, and I can complete my movement. It looks like, yeah, I can just get into that next bubble, seeing no truly safe path. And we'll at least see what the blue bubble has in store for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as you enter the blue bubble, you find yourself suddenly just plunged into water, as this whole bubble is full of water contained within this energy. You see a number of objects sort of floating in the bubble, mechanical, magical, you're not quite sure if they came with it or if they were always here. But yeah, you are underwater. Luckily, I don't think you need to breathe, so that one should be fine.
Nice.
So let's see, that will be your move. It is now your friend in the red bubble's turn. However, no one is there, and he can't leave his bubble, so I'm just going to skip him and move on to Hopper, who is now slightly Skittermanderfied.
Seeing my very outward improvement, I am gonna thank the creature, hope it has a nice day, and move on out of that bubble.
Okay. As you step out, you don't see any of your friends.
I don't like yellow. 5, 10. I can move like 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go diagonally to the orange one.
Okay. All right. As you enter that particular bubble, you find yourself, as you enter, sort of immediately pushing through this tangle of tree branches.
Ooh.
And you sort of push through, and you you see on the other side, there's this small clearing. There's like a river or like a creek of some sort of sticky substance of some sort just running through it. And you hear like the sound of just these unseen insects that are just buzzing all throughout, kind of like the cicadas in summertime. But that is what you encounter in there. You still have a standard action.
Can I double move?
You sure can.
I'll do that, and I'll try to make my way through this until I see an obvious edge.
Yep.
And come out. I'd like to come out here, but I don't know if I can tell
Sure.
where it ends.
I would say you probably can do that and sort of push through and come out there if you would like. At which point you see a very realistic drawing of Camembert on the floor of this chamber.
Oh, wow. You guys had time to make some art?
No, it's me.
Oh, that's you. Well, that's one way to lose weight. Has anyone seen Gary? Don't worry about my appearance right now.
You look great.
I am all sorts of confusion. I am confusion. And I have not seen Gary.
Okay, I guess we'll have to wait. And that's my turn.
All right, yes. Tam and Camembert, Hopper comes out looking like the Skittermander version of themselves, bright pink fur, shorter, 6 arms.
Of course, I gotta have my antenna.
Of course, always. But Tam, you are up now. What would you like to do?
Honestly, Tam was planning on waiting for everybody to kind of to meet up here. He's assuming that Gary is in the blue bubble, just because, we've come out of the yellow one, Hopper came out of the orange one. He has to be in that one, most likely. Is there any way for me to stand outside and peer in to see if I can see Gary?
You could stick your head into the bubble if you wanted.
I don't know about all that now. But what I can do, I will. I'm going to use a booster. I'm going to use a basic booster biohack on Gary. We're attuned, so I'm going to pull out my little micro lab card reader, key in something for Gary's tab to give him a +2 enhancement bonus to skill checks.
Okay. Just in case, right?
Just in case, and that'll be it.
Alrighty. Camembert, you are up. You are a lovely drawing on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Can I try to save again to pop myself into 3D reality, or does it feel like I'm not going to change unless I do something?
Make a mysticism check for me.
All right, 19?
19. You can't think of anything that you could do to make yourself be 3D, but you also saw a weird device in that dome that might have something to do with it.
All right, everybody.
All right, everyone, I'll be right back.
So I plop back in to try to find the device, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's here in the central thing. Like I say, it's sort of
The middle.
big
Oh, okay.
cylindrical device of some sort. Gears whirring and spinning on it.
And I guess I investigate the situation with the device. Poke, poke. Which skill would this be? Is this still mysticism, or is this more of like a...
You could use mysticism or engineering, but it's really just looking at it. You can't really touch it because you're on the ground and it's, a thing.
I mean, I guess it's... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, I can't cast any spells because I'm flat.
You cannot.
Okay, mysticism. I had to just use my brains. It's fine. 15 is not super good.
15,
It's the time for me to use my last precog slot. I guess so.
Your last paradox? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't be stuck like this forever, so I'm gonna change that 10 that I rolled into a 15 so that it's a total of 20 instead.
A total of 20. Okay. So you, I would say, can learn a couple of things about this weird device. There's a number of weird, strange runes and stuff on the side of it that you don't recognize at all, but are clearly magical. You think that if this thing was shut down, then you might be able to, it might end the effect on you. And you gathered that if someone turns themselves back 3D, this thing won't be able to turn them 2D for a little while again.
Okay. Okay, that's the end of my turn. I can't do anything about it yet.
Gary, it is your turn. You are underwater, but you feel slightly more skillful.
Sure. I'm just gonna trundle along until I can be in the air again. I'm not worried about myself, but Gary too does need air.
That's true.
So I'll make my quickest exit I can out of the bubble, popping up right next to Tam, and then I see there's a strange mutated Lashunta Skittermander hybrid. And of course I have to assume that some strange magic within the bubble has fused Hopper and Camembert into one being. And now we are just a party of 3, and that's all there is to it.
Tam and Hopper, you see Gary emerge sopping wet. Gary too sort of shakes himself off on Gary's back.
Hello, Gary. Yeah, some things kind of went wrong in that purple bubble. I'm Hopper, by the way, not to be confused with Camembert. Don't worry about my appearance. I think it's quite the improvement, actually.
Well, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Oh, by the way, Camembert went into the yellow sphere to do something, I guess. Maybe to fix the cheese. She's two-dimensional now.
You shouldn't say that about her. I find her to be quite fascinating and a fully fleshed out character.
There's no polite way to say it, Gary. That's just who she is, and quite literally. No offense. But she's gone into the sphere. I think she's trying to deal with this new condition that she has.
Yeah, she's an actual cartoon or like a little cute little character. It's kind of like one of your, what are they, port pals? Isn't that what it's called?
Please. Calling her a cartoon and a two-dimensional person, I find to be quite offensive. I thought that our travels would have brought us closer together and you would have more respect for our entertainment director.
I'd lean over to Tam and say, "Is this one of his jokes again? Should we just start laughing now?"
Well, maybe so, because nobody respects the art of animation like Tam Collins. Nobody.
Probably. And I'll just start laughing. I'll be like, ah ha ha, ah ha, ah ha, ha. Good one, Gary.
Speaking of which, Hopper, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I am also going to step up to the group and then take account of my new... Oh, actually, I shouldn't have let you go in there. Since you've already gone in, can I determine whether this is a condition that I have or not?
Are you asking for the purposes of a particular spell?
To remove it. Precisely.
It is not, but if you wanted to,
Okay.
What I should have actually had you do at the end of your last turn was make a fortitude save, so if you want to do that real quick for me, we'll see if it persists.
That'll work. I like that. More fortitude saves. A 4. Thanks.
You remain a
I just want to stay like this. Yeah, I just want to be like this. Could I have determined that Camembert's new physique is a condition, or is it something else?
It is not a condition that can be removed with the remove affliction or condition spell.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I couldn't actually do anything. All right, that's what I do. I'll say, I guess we'll just have to wait for her to come out. Unless you want to go in with her.
Tam, you are up currently.
I'm also going to apply the same biohack to Cam from where I am, which gives a +2 to the skill checks.
Okay. Cam, you are up.
Hey. So, again, I figured out that we need to dismantle this, but I can't do it because I'm a flat pancake Skittermander. So I'm just gonna pop out. I'm gonna use half my movement.
If anyone could assist me to help me become not flat, I would appreciate if someone would come in here with me and dismantle this thing. And Tam, I think it might be good if it was you, because you already have resisted the effects, and it would not hurt you again if you came in.
Okay.
Tam, if you want to follow her in, you can do that.
And I just sort of I kind of lay next to the device like, this one.
All right, cool. What do I need for it?
You would need a mysticism or engineering check to disable this device.
Gotcha. We'll do mysticism. 15.
Yeah, unfortunately, you are not going to be successful at that with this device this round. I'm gonna take us out of turns for the moment.
The whole show's just gonna be this. That's right.
Gary and Hopper, would you like to do anything to assist them in the bubble at all?
Well, I mean, I don't mind going in there, but I feel like we go in there, then we're just the cartoons that, like, we have to go in, come out, and pass the fortitude save, right? Because when we go in there, we immediately become flat.
Now that you're aware of the problem, you would make the fortitude save going into it, and so you might not end up being flat.
Well, let's see. I'm pretty fortunate. I'll go in there and just see what happens.
All right.
This is the end of the game, guys. We all just are flat forever.
It'd be a pretty interesting way to TPK. Oh yeah, that's bad news. It's a flat Gary.
Oh, snap!
Gary is indeed flat with a 10 on the fortitude save.
Guys, I would rather not go inside of that bubble. You'll just have to figure it out.
You don't want to join the Drift Crisis anime adaptation?
Absolutely not. I like my 3-dimensional waifus as they are. Thank you.
So yeah, okay, Gary, you are joining the cartoon adaptation. Let's see, I'm gonna say it is, we'll go back in the order to Cam or Tam. Would either of you like to do anything?
It does not seem like this is working out super well. I'm gonna try to leave again. Maybe that is the trick to all of this.
And I'm just gonna eat.
Make a fortitude save on your way out.
Okay. I'm doing it. It's happening.
Oh, okay. So with that roll, you are able, as you leave, you're like, wait, cartoon logic. And you sort of stick your thumb in your mouth and puff up your cheeks and pop, you are 3D.
Oh my god. I hate that so much. Thank you.
Right.
Well, that was annoying. Maybe I yell, "Hey, Gary, just leave. Just leave again. Just leave. Sorry."
Will do. Yeah, I mean, Gary will just follow Cam back out. Leave the bubble.
All right, make a fortitude save for me.
And that is a 20.
So yeah, you'll follow Cam's advice of, oh, try this cartoon logic thing, and somehow that works. And Tam has already succeeded, so you are able to leave the bubble without incident. You are no longer flat.
All right.
Welcome back.
So there are still one of two options for you to sort of leave this area. There is the blue bubble that Gary came out of sopping wet, and there is the sort of cyan-looking bubble that you haven't gone into yet.
Gary, does the water level seem cool? Because we could just pass through there if it looked safe.
As long as you move quickly, as it is entirely filled with water. But it shouldn't pose any other threat.
Can scaramanders swim? Well,
Yes, we have many arms with which to swim. We are very good at it. So Skidamander, huh? Pretty fun, right?
I love it.
Actually, it's been another round, so make another fortitude save for me.
It's low. Yay!
Alas, you remain a Skittermander for the moment.
Whoop whoop. And I'll dive in, believing Camembert and everything that she said, and just start swimming.
Yeah, you can swim through it without particular incident. There is nothing in there that will trouble you, so, you know, with enough time you can make your way through and emerge on the other side very damp.
I love it.
I think I'll go through it. You know, just I think we're all going through the bubble.
That's the move. Let's do it.
We did it.
Yes, so with that you can sort of make your way through, dry yourselves off on the other side, and, you know, sort of leave these particular, that is the last of the bubbles in this particular area. So you can leave them behind and continue to make your way. Is there anything you need to do before you continue?
I've had quite an awakening. I'm happy. I'll wait for them to go through the next door, and I'll follow.
All right. After about a minute, the polymorph effect on you does fade, and you return to your normal Lashunta self.
What a wonderful time. You know, Camembert, if I were you, I'd feel amazing all the time.
And quite usually I do, but I was flat for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and then I feel super good for about that amount of time. But I'm glad you're back to your Shinto self. Yes.
Thank you.
Up the stairs? Is that where we're going? Up the stairs?
Yeah, so there is sort of a series of corridors and etc. up ahead, but you can pass through them without particular incident. There are indeed several sets of stairs before you arrive at one final closed door that you hope will lead you to the first class decks.
I open it and go through it.
Aha, you fool. No, it is not trapped in any way. You step out of kind of the back corridors of this ship, the, exposed metal and tubes and wiring, and you step into a beautifully manicured city street. There are, shops and what look like little, small single houses and bungalows that line it. There are streetlights lit up here. There are people walking along the street, talking to each other, laughing, having a good time, enjoying their vacation, as if absolutely nothing wrong has happened. This is the, Starliner premium deck, the creme de la creme, and it has been kept pristine. The sky above, there's, in some sort of illusory something over the window that makes it look as if it is a lovely starry sky outside with absolutely nothing wrong with the windows. The ships are bustling, or the shops rather. You see small little cleaning drones sort of moving up and down the street, picking up litter, things like that. People dressed in vacation clothing. Everyone's having a great time up here, and you have emerged, slightly damp. With the exertion of several days on you, you are immediately rather out of place. But what do you do now that you have emerged on the first class decks?
I cast Mending on everyone's crappy clothes to make them look nice again in our party.
Very good, you can do so. Fix some of the threadbare holes and the scratches in them and things like that. You are able to do so.
And now we go look for the leader of this?
We're gonna go try to find where the people in charge would be in all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't necessarily, you didn't get a ton of training up here on the first class deck, so you don't know a lot about the geography of it as you were assigned to the lower decks. If you wanted to, you tell me how you would like to locate that. If you just want to wander around, you can do that. If you want to ask people for directions, you can do that. Up to you. What would you like to do?
I haven't had a lot of success interfacing with other creatures of late, and I feel like my methods may not be the best suited for asking around.
But Gary, can't you just interface with some computer console up here to find a map? Just a suggestion.
I could try to do that if we have a computer terminal handy. So I guess we could try to find like a security substation where there would be a terminal or something like that. Yeah. I don't mind going that route.
Yeah, if you want to do that, Gary, you can go ahead and lead a perception check for me to try and kind of, look around the area, see if you see anything of particular interest or note.
Well, middling. I don't know that I would immediately find anything. I feel like somebody...
Gary, you're so overwhelmed with just how normal it is up here that you almost sort of shift back into, corporation mode, and you're like, yes, hello, citizens, welcome, yes, hope you are having an excellent day. But if someone else wants to help Gary out and do the same thing, you can also make a perception check.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Absolutely.
28. Old Hopper.
21.
I don't know, I could see so well.
Yeah, so the rest of you, however, are not so wowed by this And you see sort of on one of the like faux street corners, a couple, I guess, blocks down, you see kind of this, small security station where there's usually like a security guard of some sort stationed, just like a place for someone to hang out, just in case anyone needs any help or assistance or anything, that you can head down to if you like.
I'll head that way.
I go to there.
Yep.
Yeah.
We go to there.
All right, you point that out to Gary, and he says, "Ah, yes, I knew that the whole time." And as you head down there, you realize that there is someone, sitting there, just kind of, leafing through a magazine, waiting to see if anyone needs their help with anything. But you realize as you approach that you recognize the person sitting there. You especially, Gary. It is an old friend of yours, who you last saw several floors down, but
Oh my god.
went mysteriously missing. Sarian Vex is sitting there, just sort of leafing through a magazine at the moment.
Great. I'll roll right up to him. Sarian, I see you made it to the upper levels. That is very interesting, and I should have given you more credit. I figured you would have been killed.
And he sort of he is astonished to see you, and he's oh my goodness, Gary, what are you all doing up here? And he's smiling to see you, like he's happy to see you. He's like, I thought for sure y'all were still down there. What brought you up here?
It turns out that we are all being made redundant, and we've come to plead for our jobs and lives. Barring that, we've come to stop Miss Opulos from making a rash decision.
And he sort of chuckles and says, I don't really understand your sense of humor, Gary. What are you talking about?
Where's Miss Opulos? Sarian?
I mean, there's like the main kind of like command center that they've built. There's like a backup sort of bridge or something that she's using, but why do you need to talk to her?
It is a personal matter. Would you kindly take us to this backup bridge, Sarian?
I need you to make a bluff check about a personal matter.
Yay. Or you could intimidate him with your robot hands.
That's true. Like, at a point, I'll just be like, grab him and make him take us. I mean, I don't bluff anybody. It certainly just sounds awkward. Like, there's no reason for him to believe me. I'm certainly being dodgy.
Yeah, I mean, you very much are. And he says, I mean, yeah, hang on. Let me just give her a call first, all right? Because, like,
Well,
I mean, this is
hold on
weird. You gotta,
now.
like...
Well, Miss Sarian, we're old friends. You remember the things that I've done for you, the jokes I've told, how you laughed. Look at Gary, too. Isn't he cute? Doesn't he make you want to help me? Because of how cute Gary, too is?
I mean, he's very cute. I'm glad you found a friend. Are you trying to intimidate him?
Not yet. But if he's not buying it, I'll say, well, I tried to do it the nice way. But now, Sarian, I'm going to ask you not so nicely to take me to Miss Opulos. And if you don't, I will be forced to do something highly unpleasant.
Oh.
You've changed, man. I don't know. Like, I'm not looking to get anybody in trouble here.
You should have just helped me. You should have just helped me.
Make an intimidate check.
That's much better than everything else I could have done with a 23.
All right. He picks up what you're putting down, that you are clearly a little on the edge and a little stressed. So he says, "All right, man. I'm not looking for any trouble here. I don't know what you people are on about, but if you want to go see her, you don't have to threaten me, man. Just all right." And he sort of, walks out and starts heading that way.
Come, my friend Sarian is going to help us. We'll follow Sarian Vex.
And I assume the rest of
Amazing.
you will follow Gary. Yeah, all right. So you can you can follow them to basically the one end of the ship where there is like, it sort of dispenses with the illusion of being on a particular planet, and it's like, no, this bit is definitely a ship, right? And you see that they've kind of cobbled together, like, this was clearly like a a bank of like, computers or other sort of kind of back end kind of stuff that has, had temporary signage put up to indicate that, this is the bridge, it's a restricted area, like, people should stay away from here. As you're walking down the street, you definitely get some weird looks from people. There's people sort of, surprised to see a new security drone and to see people sort of marching down the street on some sort of mission. But they don't stop you or anything. They're having a lovely time on their vacation. But eventually you get to what appears to be like an actual security checkpoint. You see that you're approaching one, and Syrian kind of says, I don't really know what you want me to do here. Like, I can't just demand a meeting with Opulos. I can take you in there as employees. Is that all right?
We'll do the demanding. No need to worry about it, Sarian. Thank you for your help.
Okay. I don't want to be a party of doing anything, violent or illegal, man.
Understood. Bye, Sarian.
Okay, bye. And he'll sort of, like, very slowly back away.
See you later, Sarian.
What do we see at this checkpoint?
Yeah, like, what does the checkpoint look like? Like, what are we dealing with?
Yeah, so it's basically, like, two people sitting outside, like, a secure door. There's sort of, like, a desk that they've got there with, like, a computer set up and kind of an intercom setup. It's all clearly, like, very clearly jury-rigged fairly quickly. But you see two other people dressed in Opulos Entertainment Guard uniforms just hanging out there. They don't particularly appear to be, like, on alert or anything. But, they're definitely there to prevent people from going through the airlock door that's there.
I'm just like, I just roll right up to him. Like, I am security. As far as I'm concerned, there's no reason they should pose a problem for me. I'm forging ahead. My companions, come on with me.
Yeah, one of the guards greets you, human man, sort of, bushy red beard, says, I'm sorry, you can't... It's a security uniform. Are you security?
Indeed I am.
And, who are these people with you?
They're also employees.
And Tam, he's going to say, and I'm a bartender, can't you see? We are employees. I am here to prepare some drinks for the higher-ups.
All right, so, you sort of roll up and say, hello, I'm a bartender. And they sort of, look at that and they say, we're not supposed to, the guard that's there is kind of this human man, bushy red beard, says, I mean, we're not supposed to have drinks on the bridge, but if you're employees, can I have your ID badge just to, verify?
Sure. I provide whatever credentials I have.
Never go without it.
Yeah. So they can, sort of take them and scan it to verify that you're employees, and it says, oh, yeah, we can let you in, but, the boss wants to see you, apparently. So, if you'll follow me.
What?
And he sort of gets up and opens the door and gestures for you to follow him.
Oh, okay, that was easier than we thought.
I wanted to go there anyway.
Thanks for helping us.
And if you follow him in, there's these, several rooms that they've kind of taken over for these, this makeshift bridge as they've tried to get control of the ship in this particular crisis. And he says, I'm not really sure why she wants to meet with you in this room, but whatever. And he takes you, through to a couple of rooms and eventually to a room. He opens the door and he gestures for you to enter a room that has a number of... It looks like a storeroom. There's a lot of, sort of crates and boxes of different things, but there's a fair amount of room. It's, a metal room. That's about all that you notice as you go in.
Okay.
And he says, I'll let her know that you're here. She's usually pretty responsive. There's nothing major going on right now.
Nothing major.
Before that guard tries to leave, I grab his hand. Oh, I'm so sorry. If you wouldn't mind just waiting here with us. I get so lonely, and when we are, in this new space. And I'm trying to make sure he doesn't leave. So if this is a trap, he has a security card that gives back out.
Okay. Make a diplomacy check for me.
Okay. Oh my God, we're gonna die here for sure. 24.
24. All right. Yeah. He sort of says, all right. Sorry. Sure. And he'll just wait there in the doorway.
Oh, thank you. What is your name again, sir?
It's Roberto. What's your name?
Oh, thank you so much, Roberto. You're so kind. And I just sort of like monologue about like how hard it is to work in this ship in these trying times with a an uncompetitive wage. And I'm just like talking to keep him there and not so he won't leave before new people come in.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can easily do that. You're a chatty person.
Okay.
And you can chat with him for a couple of minutes, and he's sort of taken aback by this because like it's very weird that you're being so chatty. But after a couple minutes, you see a couple of people walking down the hallway towards the room, and they arrive. The two people you see, first sort of leading the way is this like insectile individual, not like a Sheeran though, but sort of like those bugs that like roll up and have a bunch of legs and just like roll up. Looks like a big medium. Yeah, pill bug. One of those, but large and sort of this blue carapace, wearing nice armor. Clearly like a bodyguard, a head of security of some sort. And he arrives. The second person that you see walking behind this, security guard, is a woman who you have probably seen before in promotional materials and flyers, maybe the tabloids, and you've definitely heard her voice a couple of times over the past few days. You see Vioni Opulos walking down the hallway towards you, smartly dressed, hair tied back. As Vioni Opulos enters the room where the four of you are, she sort of nods at Roberto standing there by the door in a clear motion of dismissal, and he sort of waves you all farewell and heads back out of the room. He knows to listen to the boss no matter how much he may like Camembert. And she says, "Hey there, folks. How are you folks doing? It seems you've had a real journey to get up here."
We sure did. It's honestly been kind of rough down in the lower decks, and I can't say that I'm quite satisfied with the response that we should have gotten over 16 plus hours ago.
Oh gosh, folks, I'm real sorry about that. We've been having a devil of a time establishing communications with the lower decks. I do want to apologize for any hardships you may have endured while on this voyage, though of course Opulos Entertainment legally bears no responsibility for anything that happened as a result of extraplanar forces. Of course you understand.
I think Gary would love to provide a full report.
Oh, well, of course. I'm sure you would. I know you've had quite a journey. I mean, you're all very competent people. So, listen, I wanted to make you folks all an offer before we got any further. We're a little short-staffed up here, and we're, just waiting for rescue at this point. So I'd like to offer you all, a job up here if you're so inclined. Opulos Entertainment is willing to provide each of you with 75,000 credits, payable once we return to port to the account of your choosing, if you choose to work up here. In return, I'd ask you to resume your duties up here and help take care of these passengers.
Oh, well, what about everybody else?
Oh, everybody else? I don't understand.
Figures. The lower decks.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's a real shame what happened, but again, we're not responsible for anything that happened as a result of extraplanar forces. Speaking of which, I should point out that as a condition of this employment, I would ask you to agree to sign this document here, and she'll hand you sort of flexible paper. It's nothing major, it's just a complete release of liability for any damages sustained on this voyage and any future Opulos voyages, as well as a very binding non-disclosure agreement saying that you'll never talk about anything that happened on this voyage without running it through an Opulos Corporation representative.
Tam's head turns and looks at our rules guardian, Gary, just to see. I'm just curious as what's Gary's reaction to this? Would Gary be irate at all? I'm just trying to gauge.
Sure, no, of course. Gary at this point sort of pipes up. They say, Miss Opulos, the people of the lower decks, nothing has happened to them yet. They are quite safe. We simply need the resources and personnel to bring them up here so that they can resume their journey without further incident.
Oh, I'm afraid that's not the case. Unfortunately, the catastrophic failure that occurred several days ago, it hasn't rendered the lower decks very, very hospitable, which I'm sure you'll see is outlined very clearly in that agreement. Yeah.
Well, we came from the lower deck several hours ago. There are quite a number of survivors who.
Oh no, I don't think you did, and I think that my representatives will assure you that if you were to ever speak about this in the future, that you would of course assure everyone that you did not in fact do that, because of course that would be absolutely terrible PR for the Opulos Corporation.
I think at this point, Gary gets a little bit draws himself up taller, and you can see all the glowing LEDs. Just there's a little red tint to them, and he says, "Oh no, Miss Opulos, I have hours and hours of detailed recordings of exactly what happened over the last few hours. And I can assure you, they're all quite safe at the moment, and we need to help them."
Make an intimidate check for me.
26.
26. I will say that, if you, draw yourself up to your full height and you make this not at all veiled threat, you will see her visibly shrink back for just a moment, and she will look at the individual with her, who you would know is one of the heads of her security forces.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just sort of look at him and then just look back to you and say, "I'm sure you'll reconsider, but in the meantime I have other meetings to attend to. I hope you all have a very pleasant day while you consider." And she turns and starts to walk out of the room.
Before she leaves,
yeah,
I want to establish, is it possible to establish a greater mind link with her?
Yeah, so if you wanted to cast Mind Link on her as a spell, you could do that and dump 10 minutes of information into her brain. It's not an ongoing thing, but if you wanted to do that, you could.
Or rather truly, I just wanted to say something to her with my own mind instead of...
Oh, that you can easily do. That's just like talking to someone. You can do that easily enough.
That's what I want to do. So I tried to reach to her telepathically, and I want to say to her before she leaves, we really don't have time for your stupid rules, your stupid policies, and honestly, your stupid little mind right now. There are people down there in the lower decks suffering because of your negligence. And if you leave out of that door, you will regret it. And nobody ever gets to hear me actually speak, so it's just me staring hard at her.
Yeah, you stare daggers at her back.
Basically, so I just want her to hear that, and I'll basically, it's basically just if you walk out the door, you're gonna have issues, or you can stay and help us bring these people up to the upper decks. The last straw.
Understood. She will hear that. She will pause for just a moment, and then she'll continue walking.
Can I do something now too?
Sure. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna cast Hold Portal on the door she's trying to go through to close it.
Oh!
It has 100-foot range.
Oh!
I have 2 spells that are just for doors, and I'm gonna use them.
As she does that, I'm gonna yeah. If I'm allowed to do another thing, unless we need to go through I want to cast person or hold person on the guard.
Interesting.
But only when it's my turn.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Camembert, you cast Hold Portal.
Mm-hmm.
So, Camembert, in this moment, you reach out, you make the arcane signs with your hand. The door in front of her slams shut, and it's so close that she almost bumps into the door as she's going to leave. But you slam it just in front of her, just about to take the front of her nose off. And she stops, and she spins around, and she says, "All right, very well. The hard way it is, then." And that's where we'll leave that episode.
All right.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, that'll be fun.
Excited.
All right. Oh, well, you have made it to the belly of the beast, confronted the beast herself. And we'll see how that goes for you next time on our finale of Starfinder Drift Crisis. Exciting and scary. Thank you all so much for playing with me. I hope you all have had fun. Thank you all so much at home for watching with us today. And we will see you all next time on our finale. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody.